As a Minecrafter, you tend to realize the very minuscule things that you have, the resources that you gain, the buildings that you create. These things that you've built to better yourself sometimes come to an end. Some of these things may perish. Some of these things may grow and succeed. But they all end. And I'm here to talk to all of you about the latest server that me and my friends have played on, and how it ended. This is the Fabled Spruce Village. It was one of the first villages that I found. I wanted to build my base next to a village, or near a village, so I scavenged the land for a village. I inevitably ended up going thousands of blocks away from spawn to find one, but this is one of the ones I found after I found my main base. Now, Wyatt, who I thought at the time was interested in the property, asked me if he could purchase the village and use of all of the villagers for 2 diamonds, which I graciously accepted. Now, I know it sounds dumb now, and I should have seen it coming, but what ensued was a battle, and he had already had diamond gear, which, fair enough. This was a sporadic water bucket I placed to attempt to run away from him. It started there, right at that riverbank. The transaction happened and he swinged at me, so I swam this way and then swam that way, where he subsequently killed me right here. Now, this is the most important event because it marked the beginning of the paranoia. Now people were on edge. Eliott was on edge. Wyatt was on edge. Everybody was on edge. Because they knew, since Eliott put that hit on me, he knew that someone might put a hit on him. No one did for a while. It was kind of calm. Till hits started happening. Wyatt placed a hit on Eliott to try and stir things up on the following day. So, this is what we did. I messaged Eliott about the deal. It was 3 diamonds, which was a lot at the time. He said that he would willfully go to spawn with 3 blocks of sand, because Wyatt wanted all of his stuff, and in turn I would give him 1 singular carrot so that he could start a carrot farm. Carrots are a very powerful food source. They give you a lot of saturation. Not very much food, but a lot of saturation, which is very, very good for combat. So I graciously accepted both deals. Wyatt was on edge about the thing. I told him about the fact that I tricked Eliott into a carrot trade. I never lied to him, because technically I did trick him into a carrot trade, but it was more than that. So I killed him. I gave him the carrot. I got my payment, and it was over. Wyatt felt bamboozled, and I never got a hit from Wyatt again. I actually never got a hit after that. That was my only hit on the server, I believe. Next comes one of the bigger things, one of the bigger events to take place on the server. Now, I wasn't here for the Nether Highway, the Nether builds. I went on a vacation, and I didn't get to experience the Nether Highway or the whole ordeal around Nixon, which was, Flavius. Sorry. Oh, I can't disgrace his name. Nixon, although, was another sheep, but I'll get back to that later. So, the Nether Highway was partially under construction when I came back. Almost everyone other than me had built a Nether Highway. I built mine when I came back, but Then came the whole ordeal. Wyatt wanted to get some ice, some packed ice, to make his Nether Highways. So he decided to enlist the help of Eliott for an initial 1 diamond to help him dig to the location that they had found, which was thousands of blocks away. And Eliott graciously agreed. But then something strange happened. I ended up becoming the richest person. I think it was because I got Fortune 3, and I found like 2 diamond veins, and Wyatt had like given all of his money away in hits. Someone put a hit on me, and I got really tilted. It's just in my nature, it just happens. And then I rambunctiously put a hit back on them. That was when we added the cooldown on hits, because then it just went back and forth with petty things. And then the server ending happened. And I know I skipped a lot of stuff in the middle, a lot of minute detail, but this is the real thing that tipped it over. Now this is much later on. But I decided that I had enough gear and enough ender pearls to go to the end. Now, I announced publicly that that day I was going to fight the end with everybody. Then what happened was Eliott wanted Netherwort. Me and Wyatt, being the only two who had it and knew that there weren't very many nether fortresses around, decided to be very entrepreneurial with what we did. So we asked him for 2 diamonds for 1. He obviously declined, and decided to go to the Nether and take the only blaze spawner that we had found up until now. He threatened that he was going to destroy it, and then said he did, after I told him that he couldn't go to the end with me because he was doing that. Now, I know that that was an extremely petty thing for me to do, but I believe that in this whole entire situation, many people ended up being wrong. But then he came to my base and took Boomer hostage. Boomer was my horse. This is Boomer's grave. Now, this is the point where I thought that a message would appear if Boomer died, and I thought he was bluffing. So I went ahead and killed the Ender Dragon. And as soon as he saw me go through that end portal, he killed him, I believe. That's what I've been told. Now, I'm not very beat up about losing a horse. I mean, it's just a horse, really. I didn't have much emotional attachment to Boomer. But Boomer was my pet. So, when I came back from the end and saw him dead, Eliott had left and gone. And had left the Discord call, so I decided to pay his base a visit. Before I go upstairs in Elliott's base, I'd like to show you his basement, his nether portal. Now, this was a trap that killed no one, but proved as a legitimate threat. If you came through his portal, you could walk and die by him punching you into it, and that was kind of a scary thought. And it also proved that Eliott was taking strides to defend his home, which I don't really mind. Now, this is what Eliott had, and he wasn't the richest, but he wasn't the poorest either. Now, he had some stuff. He had some gear, he had some things. He had a horse, he made this arch, which I thought was for a bigger project, but it ended up just being so that he could fly through it with an elytra, which is cool. This is his sugarcane grinder, which is is my design, pretty much the design that I used, except just a little more large. This is the horse that he actually rides. I don't know what his horse's name's called, but yes. So I'd like to say that after he killed Boomer, I was gonna go kill his horse. That was my intent, I should say. I never ended up doing it. He ended up getting his horse out and protecting it when I was trying to find a creeper to blow up his horse. Now, what ended up happening was there was a creeper that spawned in his cow pen because of how poorly lit it was. So, out of just pure just me being an idiot, I decided let's blow it up. So what ended up happening was it blew up, and it killed a ton of cows. It blew up part of the fence, and then all of the cows got free. Now, he then started to kill me, which is fair, so I successfully made my escape. This was after elytras. This was a big deal. I had already gotten my elytra after going to the end. I came back and I saw him just moseying about, and I decided, and then that was really rude of me. So what I did was I fixed it halfway through getting war reparations, which I gave him a couple diamonds. He came back online. We both agreed that this was stupid, and then that settled it. We were good. So it just got boring for everybody, and we universally decided to quit. Now, I still had plans, but I agreed that the server was, you know, we got rid of the hit system after Eliott was told to kill me, and I died, and then I told him to kill Eliott, and then Eliott died. Now, the reason I was angry that time, it was a different time, was because I was in the middle of a raid. Now, I was at 2 hearts and poisoned when Mr. Wyatt came out of nowhere and killed me. Or Eliott. Eliott came out of nowhere and killed me. I don't remember exactly, but it was one of the 2. And one of them paid the other one. So, I did a recoil hit on Eliott. And he ended up, I didn't get any of my stuff back, but he ended up dying. This is Wyatt's base. It's just a quaint little wooden house with an enchanting table, and this is another massive, massive event that took place. The property rules were extremely lax and very, very bad. So what ended up happening was, when everyone else was on the server, Eliott decided to make a sign. Now, I don't exactly remember what the sign said. I believe it said Eliott good, or something like that. But Wyatt thought that that was an infringement on his property and view rule. A new rule that if a nether portal automatically linked to another nether portal, it was that person's nether portal. I mean, that person's property. So technically, this was Wyatt's property. Now, Vincent brought some TNT. That's why there's holes in it. After the fact that the rule was discussed, so we blew it up. Everything was fine. Eliott ended up leaving after that. I believe he had to go for something, but... And then it was all chill. This was a big event. This was after the hit system was removed, so no one could kill each other. So it brought... This brought up the structural integrity of the entire server into account. We were losing it. And then, this was what put it over the edge. The big thing that put it over the edge was boredom, for everybody else. But for me, the biggest thing that pushed me over the edge was illegal use of property. I'll show that to you now. So this is our server's end realm. Now, it's pretty uninteresting, drab, some pretty actually low towers for an end realm, but I'm not going to complain about that. It made taking down the Ender Dragon easy. Now, as you can see, we took down the Ender Dragon twice. Once over there, once over here. Now, the first time, I killed it by myself, as you saw. Boomer died. Then, after the first time I killed him, I decided to go over here and make this. Now, some of you might know what this is. It is an Enderman farm that I've slightly modified. And the property damage comes here. Now, these signs clearly state that this is private property and this is a priced farm. Now, Eliott had come over here and, by mistake, because with sharpness swords, it's very, very easy to break leaves, and he must not have known that. So we ended up actually breaking this block, which I've replaced now, and the block that you see that's empty here. He ended up breaking that too. I broke this block, by the way. And then I saw a stray ender pearl right here. That was just there, which would have definitely despawned by the time that I'd used it again. And that was about it. That was a tip-off. And Elliott was here grinding, and I knew that. And I just didn't think that he would go that low, but he did. And that was the blade, the final swing that took this server out for me. With everybody else, we just left, and that was it. This is the server has like maybe a week left to live, but yeah. And I'm gonna now that I've gone through a pretty short history of the server, I'd like to show you everybody's base and how long they were on and everything. I've already shown you Wyatt's base, and I've shown you part of mine, but I'll go into more depth of my base later on. Now this is Vincent's base. It's easily the best base on the server, and he didn't even play for that long. He was only on for a few days, and then he had to go on vacation, one of which he still is at the time of this recording. We were gonna go into business. We were gonna do business things. We were gonna make a business called Do Stuff Incorporated. It was gonna be a blast. Obviously, then the server died and he left. I mean, he left and then the server died. Love underwater bases, and making dome underwater bases is so cool. I like that he made the purple with the net. It's just so good, and that's why he let people purchase his assistants, and I think a couple people did. I think Wyatt purchased his assistants a couple times. But yeah, this is Vincent's base. It's very nice looking. I love it. Gotta love it. Now, since I've already shown Wyatt's base, and I've already shown Vincent's base, and I've already shown Elliott's base, it's time to go to Owen's humble abode. Now, in my very humble opinion, I think my base was the most fleshed out of anyone's, other than Vincent's. But I had the most stuff going for me, I think. So I'll start from right and go left, because I hate America. I'm just kidding. But okay, so right here, we have my villager thing. This is just a pink wool pin thing that I used for pink carpet. Okay, and over here we have my villagers. Which I traded with iron, and these guys I would trade away my iron for emeralds, which is partially why I'm very rich, but also not. Don't know why the elytra didn't activate there, but okay. Right here we have my chicken farm. This is my very slow sugarcane farm. This is my secret villager spot. It's right here. And it's just a very sneaky spot. This just says that this would be like authorized personnel. And what happened to some of the villagers? What? Wait a minute. There was an armor here, and a... Where'd the armorer go? Huh. Here. Here's a pumpkin and was soon to be a tiny melon section. This is Nixon. Now, what happened was, Eliott gave me Nixon after I gave him war reparations for killing Boomer, that whole situation that I explained earlier. He gave me the original Nixon wool and the original Nixon mutton. I named the Nixon mutton myself and then slapped that on there. Now here we have just like hoppers and chests and things and stuff that I found at an end city. And this is the only dragon egg that could ever be on the server, ever. I decorated this area. It's not done, as you can see, there's dirt and stuff, but I have enchants because I spent a lot of time at that Enderman grinder enchanting books and stuff with the levels I got to reset trades, so I got a ton of books and my ender chest. Now this has everything valuable that I own in it. The buildings have been shown off. All the big landmarks have been shown off. There's only one thing left to do, and that's to officially resign myself from the server. Now, I would like to play this over Fallen Kingdom. I don't know if I'm legally allowed to do that, so I don't think I'm going to. But I'd like to show you all of my armor, my valuables chest, and everything else I own, apart from my farms and things, will be going into this lava. And I'd like to say that this server was a blast. This is the longest vanilla server that we've ever had. It's fun for the beginning. And it just gets boring. People move on. People can't stand playing Minecraft for like 3 weeks in a row in order to keep up. I get it. I do. But I just hope that if we ever do it again, modded or not, whatever, what have you, that it's fun. Bye, doggo. Goodbye, me.